A BB 548 family. Welcome to Warriors Over Weasels. I'm your host, Busara. Let's get right into the discussion. If you and a fool have an argument, the fool succeeds. A kind proverb. And I'm going to try to tie my discussion into that particular proverb to give us an understanding of what we need to elevate to or towards. Because black people must unite around liberation and control of our destiny. We must not ever be caught publicly down talking to each other again. The way black men and black women have been going at each other over old white men is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. It is not only embarrassing, but it also exposes wounds to the general public who aren't our friends, giving them fuel against us that they don't even need. They got enough fuel against us. So allowing our enemies and whoever else that isn't our friend to know and see our weaknesses is carelessly irresponsible and places our future in jeopardy. In order to move forward, we must ask ourselves, what have these political parties done for us to divide us the way that they have? Why are so many black people loyal to the Democratic Party? These questions must be answered and our intellectual discourse must evolve. Fear-based voting and lifelong party allegiances are not creating the changes we need politically. Our house can't survive being divided or being blind loyalists to political parties that just ignore us after they're elected. The way Ice Cube was verbally attacked by black people in the white media for having an agenda for black Americans is beyond disgusting. Even if we disagree with the contract, we shouldn't have allowed our enemies to use us to silence a black man with a plan for us. You know, black people. We must learn to exercise more than our emotions, and we must also know that there's a time and a place for everything, including emotions. However, emotions are not necessary for everything. In Crania Americana, they described our people as having smaller brains and that we allow caprice to rule our thoughts, which is an abundance of emotion. That's what caprice is. It's like you're ruled by emotion type feelings, not by logic. So I don't know if we allowed our enemies to socially engineer us into being what they said we were in the pseudo book Crania Americana. But we most definitely must deal with the elephant in the room. We can't afford to allow blanketed thoughts to rule our mindset. We must get to a point of logical reasoning and actions. We get emotional when police kill us, but we dance to music that promotes violence and death. We must recognize our contradictions and deal with them rather than denying their existence. Once we see our contradictions and own them, we can work on genuine solutions. Without addressing our contradictions, we will continue to expect our enemies to treat us better than we collectively treat ourselves. We must see our flaws as well as the fuel we add to the fire, which makes us targets for a conscious enemy who utilizes logical planning techniques. And I don't want to be hard on our people because more often than not, the persons hearing this are making positive strides in the right direction that we must travel. I want to build with those persons who want to build. I don't want to force or convince anyone on what we must do. That's wasted time. I'd rather spend that time with builders and hash out what we must do through trial and error. I'm not interested in preaching to sheep or to the choir. I want to work with the warriors who are prepared to be the solution. We need problem solvers, not complaining, non-solution. We don't need people that attack our people for not being a member of that political party. Regardless of the political party, we shouldn't determine one's blackness based on who we do or don't vote for. No other group does this, and we must question ourselves on why are we doing this, and what are the benefits from our public attacks and lack of unity. Unlike the dominant society, we don't have a wide array of content that's shown through the mainstream media daily. So our character and culture are often misrepresented, which means any negative stereotype that we carry out amongst ourselves will be highlighted and be the highlight of our people in the media. So public attacks should not be made because we don't have the media machines to balance out the attacks in a way that the focus isn't just on negativity. This makes us look like petty and divided people who are too busy engaging in ego wars to actually fight for tangible, political progress and long-term wealth. We must step our political knowledge up, and soon, if we ever plan on being respected after Election Day. I feel regardless if we fully agree or not, Ice Cube's contract for Black America should have been pushed harder. And it definitely can be pushed harder, should be pushed harder, under a president who secured a huge number of black voters. And I say his plan because it's already in people's mind, and it is something I see as not a one-time thing. We as black people must understand this government owes our people, and we even more so owe ourselves to become more political savvy, less emotional, and more potent with our approach. This is not the time to be divided over petty nonsense publicly. This is how the enemy is using us, as if we're tools. Are we tools or are we people? Tools don't choose their destiny. A hammer will never become a screwdriver, but a person has the ability to adapt, to make improvements or advancements. So let's unite around plans, not arguments and unnecessary beefs. There are bigger and more beneficial fish that we must fry. Till the next time, everyone, I'm Busara. This has been Warriors Over Weasels, a BB5 Hodier family.